Okay, we are going to see break statements. So as per the definition, break statement is used to terminate a loop which or in conjunction with the label statement. So first, why we are using break is we need to terminate a loop. Based on some condition, if you want to terminate a loop, we will use break. We can see some examples. We can say I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. I'm just assigning a number here. I'm doing some operations. Let sum equal to 0. Sum plus is equal to you can say something we are doing, we can say sum plus is equal to I also. So what we are doing is we are taking each I and then we are adding it into the variable. What it is it means sum equal to sum plus I. So if we write like this, what it will do, you are the loop will start, it will be 0 and then 0 plus sum. How it will execute? It is not related to the break statement, just I'm explaining. Zero plus. So each time, not 0, 1. Sum plus, this is sum here, and then i's value, we can take it as 1. So 0 plus 1, and the first thing, 1 will get stored, and then 1 plus loop variable is 2, so 3 will be stored. So this is loop variable 2. No. Loop variable is 3. Sum will be 6. So we are just adding the 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. That's it. So this statement will execute as sum is equal to sum plus I. What it will do, it will add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That's it. If you have any doubts, you can just write it on paper how it will execute. Write it on paper like for loop I equal to 0. What will be the answer? So when people are new to coding, you need to write it on a paper and then you need to decode the program. So now we are studying break concept. I'll go into it. If I can say I equal to I less than 0. I'm doing some other operations here. I can say some other operation. Sum plus is equal to something. I don't want. I'm doing any random operations. Sorry, I not I N. Madan has joined. Okay. So now it is saying it is unreachable code actually. If I'm hovering over it, because unreachable code, because it knows the value of n. First we will check. I'll say how it will go. 1 minute. Less than or equal to. Okay, because I have added a semicolon here, that's why it was saying, so I have removed it now. Fine. So what it will do is, the statement will get executed, I equal to 1 by initiating, and then the statement will get executed, and when it comes here, it will check whether the number we are passing is less than 0. So if it is less than 0, kind of we can take it as negative numbers. So when the number is negative, the loop will go to here again, for loop. It will skip this line. It will skip this line. So what it will do is it will go, sorry. It will skip this line and then it will come up and breaks the loop. So it will come here actually. Whenever it finds a negative number, it will come out of the for loop. So so whenever we want to break a loop based on some conditions, we will write it here. So we can have, it won't execute this also. When some condition gets this condition gets satisfied, it will come out of the loop. We can see some examples also. If it is while loop also, same thing. If I can repeat the same thing here, while and some condition, and then if break here can be any code. Here also can be any code condition. So here also, if I do anything, it will get executed till when the number is not positive. Till when the number is positive, all will get executed. When the number is negative, it won't execute this line. It will come out directly from here. Wait, we can check some. Where is that break? There are many other websites like Info.js, JavaScript. So whenever you are reading a concept, you may refer these sites. And the main thing is Mozilla. This is a standard website actually, but it may be a little bit, I won't say it will be tough. The wordings will be a little bit we can say it will be of very quality, but it will be a little bit tough when you start learning. But if you know the concept, after I'm teaching, if you go through this, you can understand. Don't know where it will be. Intermediate. I'll get the cheat sheet for this, where all the links will be there. I'll share it. So these are all the website we can refer. We can. JavaScript info. Break. I don't know whether this concept is there or not, because since it is a small concept, I'm not sure. They are speaking about this break. Fine. Because already we have seen the break in the statement. Whenever we find the break, it will come out of the loop. Same concept here also. Whenever it finds a break, it will come out of the thing. See, it will come out of the loop. Same condition, they are checking if I equal to 3. When I equal to 3, it will come out of the loop. Program to find some of same thing they have also written. They are finding some. They are doing this here because if I write like this, it makes sense because whenever I'm finding a positive number, till then I'll sum. Whenever I'm finding a negative number, I'll come out of the loop. If the code is here, what it will do, first it will add and then it will come out. But if I'm writing it here, whenever it finds a negative number, the loop will come, it will come out of the loop. So this example makes sense that whenever we are finding a negative number, it will come out of the loop. So if we have not seen this actually inner for, because we can use a for loop inside for loop. So if I'm writing a code like this, where it will come, it will come out of the inner for loop. Now it won't come here. Whenever it comes here, it will come out of the inner for loop and will come to the line 12. If there is any code, it will execute it and then it will go back to 5. So it will, the outer loop condition, it will continue with the outer loop and then it will also go to the inner loop again here. If you execute any code, you can understand. For now, you can think as break. If a break is there, it will come out of the loop. If there are two for loops, if any break is there, it will come out of the inner loop. Concept wise, this is enough. So that's it about break. I don't know. Some sound came. Okay. What is continuous statement? We have written a word called with a label. So actually there is a concept. We can add a label for the break, like here. We can add a name. And then we can add a name to for loop and all. But it is rarely used in JavaScript. I also have never used that. So we can skip that. Just to know that there is a thing with a label we can use. So here it is mentioned, but in practice we are not using it. So what is continuous statement? Continuous statement is to restart a while, do while, for or label statement. So it helps to restart a while. If I'm doing like this, what it will do is, whenever it finds here, whenever the code comes here, it will go back to the loop. It will go, the flow will go back to here, I++. Usually how it will happen, it will initialize and then it will check if n is positive, it will add, and then if I will be 2, and then it will check if n is negative, n is positive, then it will add. So likewise, it will come. The loop will execute whenever it finds a negative number. It won't break. It will just skip this and then go back to. Again, it will go back here. So what we can say is, we don't want to break the loop just for one condition. If one n is negative, okay, let it be. We can check with other numbers, kind of. But sometimes when there is a negative number, we need to come out of the loop. That time we need to use break. But sometimes if you just want to skip only that number, so the when number is negative, only for that number you want to skip this code, but still you want to continue with the other values, you will use continue. Whenever you want to break, you will use break. That's it. So if there is an inner loop, same like that. If there is an inner loop, it will go to the inner loop, sixth line. It won't go to the fifth line. It will go to the sixth line. So this for loop will get again executed, but it will just skip this line for one value of n. So that's it about break and continue. Concept wise, it is actually small only. Whenever it finds a break, it will come out of the loop. Whenever it finds a continue, it will just skip this code, this line of code, and then it will again go back to for loop. See here, they might have given. See, it will go here. Why I said this is for each iteration. What it will do, it will just increment the value and then it will come back. So it will increment and then it will check the condition and then it will come inside. That's why they have given increment. It will go to the update statement. While loop also, actually it is continue. I think they have written it wrong. Continue. If continue is there, it will go to the while condition. It will just skip this line of code. That's it. I think nested loop also I have said. Switch statement we have seen. You know how the break statement will work in switch. So we can skip that too. What is the time? Okay, we can go to the functions. We'll go here. So when we will use functions? Already I have started explaining in one class. Can anybody say when we will use functions? Until I get one answer, I won't start. When we will use functions? It's a very tough question. இதே இன்டர்வியூவா இருந்தா உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச எதையாவது ஒன்று ஆன்சர் பண்ணுவீங்கல்ல? Already I have explained once. Okay, மறந்துச்சுன்னு வச்சுக்கலாமா? இல்ல ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸே இது வரைக்கும் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். Repeating. மீதி எல்லாரும் சரி யாராவது சொல்லட்டும் அப்படின்னு வெயிட்டிங்கா? நேர்ல கிளாஸ் எடுக்கணும். அப்பதான் மூஞ்சி பார்த்து ஓகே நீங்க எந்திரிச்சு சொல்லுங்க நீங்க எந்திரிச்சு சொல்லுங்கன்னு சொல்ல முடியும். நான் இதுலயே ட்ரை பண்ணிட்டு தான் இருக்கேன் உங்க பேரை சொல்லி. Fine. When we will go for a function, whenever if we want to repeat some kind of functionality many times in a code, we can go. Not only for that, when there is a complex functionality, we can split the code into functions. Mostly we will use functions for this, even though it is not even though the function is not needed to be repeated, we will just split into it to make it more readable. For example, I can say, okay, let it be. We can rename this. Rename into functions. Functions dot js. Rename functions dot js. Fine. Functions. So just imagine, like, okay, if you are designing a website, if you are designing a website for calculating the scores of the cricket. So what kind of functions it will be having? I can say function. What kind of functionalities? Before that, we can say what kind of functionalities will be there. Need to calculate, run. Need to calculate run rate. Show team names. You can say with scores. So you might be having plenty of functionalities here. Calculate winning team. Calculate over, on which over we are in. So kind of there will be plenty of functionalities. If you want to design a website, there will be lots and lots of functionalities that we need to add. That time what we will do is, even though why I was saying is, even though this function is not repeating, like winning team, calculating winning team only after the match got over, we will just check the value scores of two team, and then we will say whoever is whoever got more run, we will declare them as winners. So as if we can say only one time that function will get executed, still we will add that functionality also in a function, because it will be readable, and then we know, okay, where the functionality of calculating the winning team is there. So it is not necessary that only when we are repeating the code, we need to put those in functions. We can just split the complex functionalities to make it more readable. Fine. We can say dividing a complex problems into smaller chunks make your program easy to understand and reusable. If it is reusable, we can reuse also. But the other important thing is easy to understand the code. So easy to make the code more readable, we can write it in a function. So how we need to write a function? So it will be having a function keyword followed by function name with a parenthesis and a open braces and a close braces, and it contains some code. So this is the syntax of the function. And already I have said syntax of function definition. So till when you are calling this by function name, it won't get executed. This line is just kind of writing the code. It won't get executed until you call it somewhere. So this is the important point. Till when you are not calling the function, it won't get executed. The code inside here won't get executed. So we can just check. Okay, they have written some greet functionality. We will write that itself. Greet. I can say console.log welcome to FabeB. So first I will open it in a it did not, no result was there because we did not call it. So if I call it, only this line will get executed and then result will be there. Welcome to FabeB. So only when we are calling the function, it will get executed. So we can read this. A function definition consists of the function keyword followed by the name of the function, list of parameters. What is the list of parameters? Already this also I taught. I can say welcome string instead of writing it here, I can pass it here. I can add a variable here, ws as a welcome string, and then welcome to February. Now I can pass this as a parameter. So what it will do? This ws will be passed to this parameter will be passed here, and then in the here it will be used. Whoever are completely new to programming, try to execute for small functions, then only you'll get a clear understanding. So if I want to add two numbers, what I'll do, name will be add, and I need two numbers, right? A comma B. I can get it as any name like num1, num2. So this A will be passed to num1, B will be passed to num2. The value of A will be passed to num1 and B will be passed to num2. And then if I'm putting a console.log num1 plus num2. So this is the function which accepts two parameters. Like two parameters we need to pass it here, and then we are consoling it here. We can also do like this. Let sum equal to num1 plus num2, and then console log sum. So function accepts parameters, and then we can use those parameters inside it. So I can call some other values also right here. So what will be the output here? I have not added any value for A and B. Let me add. What will how it will execute? So A value of 5, and then B equal to 10. So num1 equal to 5, and then num2 will be 10. 5 plus 10 equal to 15. So sum will be 15 here in this statement. And here C comma D, C is 20 and 25. It will be passed here. 20 plus 25 equal to 45. So sum will be 45. So the first console log, it will print 15 and then 45. So 15 and 45. So using the same function, we calculated the sum twice. So how much of a times I can calculate? This is the okay. What to say? This is the use of function. When we want to reuse, we can reuse it. There is another thing called let y equal to add of C comma D. Okay. First we will check what it is printing. console.log of x console.log of y. Undefined because x and y, they don't know the value. But now what I'm going to do is return sum. I removed this console.log here. So this is getting executed. What I have done is returning the value of sum here. What this return will do, it will return the value whenever we are calling this function, it will return the value. So where I am calling a add with the values 5 and 10. So it will calculate and returning the sum. I can return anything else here. No, not needed to be sum. I can just say string. So what will be the result? String will be stored, but there is no use, right? We are calculating something, so we will definitely in the code we will want, and we can do like this. If we can when we will use this, it is a positive number. Like if I'm getting only one number, I'm getting only one number, and then I'm just checking whether it is a positive number or not. If num1 greater than 0, else, not else, I can say here itself, it is a negative number. So when I'm passing a, it is a positive number, the condition goes here and then it is returning. Whenever the function finds a return, same like break, it will work, it will come out of the loop. It will come out, it will return the value and then it will come out of the loop. Break will come out without returning any values, but here return will return some value and come out of the loop. So for now, you can, okay, this also you can understand now itself, because this, as per the condition, how the JavaScript will get executed, it will execute here, and then after executing this, it will come to here, right? If there is no, if there is no if statement, just I'm putting no return statement, just I'm putting it is a positive number. Fine. So what it will do? Console.log of negative number. So we don't want these, because we are not returning anything here. Just I'm calling two functions. So why it we have just called twice? Why it returned three things? Because first time when I'm calling, a is 5, so it prints, it is a positive number, and then it prints this also, because we have not put any break or anything. So what it will do is it will complete this and then it will execute this also. Second time, why only one line came? Because it is a negative number, it did not go here. So this condition got failed. So directly it returns this. But what our intention, if it is a positive number, it should show it is a positive. If it is a negative number, we should say it is a negative number. So if you write return here, so whenever it this if condition gets satisfied, it will return this and it won't execute this line. Whenever it goes inside this, it won't execute this line. Like break, it will come out. Like break, it will come out of the loop. Once it got executed, it will come out of the loop. I hope it is clear. Mostly when we will use this is in most of the functions we will use return statement, because we will save it in another variable, and then we may need to calculate any other thing based on the value, this value. So this as I already said, this is the syntax of function definition. This is the calling function. So we need to know these terms: calling function and then function definition. I'm putting mute for 1 minute. Please wait. Okay, I'm back. In functions, there is another thing called anonymous functions. What is anonymous function is? We won't be having this name. Wait, I'll write an example here. Anonymous function. Let x is equal to function of you can say it takes the same thing. Welcome string we can take ws, and then console.log ws. I can call it like this. Here the function is not having any name. We are just assigning it to one variable, and then we are calling it here. So calling with some string for v. So what it will do, it is printing for v, but the syntax is different, right? Here there is a function name, and then some parameter. By using this name you are calling, but here also we are using but we are assigning to some variable, and then we are calling it using the variable, not by the function name. We can check any other examples. Anonymous functions in JavaScript. A W3 school they would have given. They have also done the same thing. They are just so you can, for now, you can just learn there is a thing called anonymous function. It can what is the meaning of anonymous? Anonymous is the meaning without name. Who anonymously we will comment. So without knowing who is that, we will do, because Here, the function is not having any specific name. We are just assigning it to a variable and then we are calling that variable with the parameter. So this is the syntax of anonymous function and this is how the anonymous function will look like. Just learn this. No need to dig into it much now. And then there is another thing called self-invocating function. Console.log. I'm just what is wrong? Yes. We need to call it here. So what is self-invocating function? It invocates on its own. Sometimes we want to execute without calling its name. If we want to call, if we want to execute this statement without calling, we can use this. This is called self-invocating a function. While using programs, I don't know, we won't use these things much, but still they may ask you an interview. So you can just learn what are the things available. No need to dig into it much. You can just check. These things are there. Immediately invoked function execution, because what I said previously was I need to call the function. After that only it will get executed. But here it will execute immediately once it is written, because I haven't called it anywhere. This thing, right? We are calling here itself. Because while calling, we will call like this, right? Function name of, so we are calling here itself. So it will get executed once this without once the code sees it, it will get executed on its own without calling. This is called self-invoking function. I think I need to teach arrow function, but I'll teach that tomorrow. If I start, it will take at least 10 to 15 minutes, but I want to wrap. Any doubts till now? யாரும் ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டு போயிட்டாங்க. மோனிஷா.
பவி பிரேக் அண்ட் கண்டினியூ அப்படியே சிம்பிளா ஒரு ஒன் லைன்ல சொல்லிருங்க. ஒரே ஒரு நிமிஷம்.
ஒரே ஒரு லைன்லயா? ஓகே, ஒன்றும் இல்லை. பிரேக் வந்துட்டு எப்போ யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம்னா, ஒரு கண்டிஷன் ஒரு இடத்துல இருந்து பிரேக் ஆகி வெளியில வரணும்னா யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். இப்போ எந்த இடத்துல இது தேவைப்படும்னா, சில இடத்துல வந்து நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர்ஸ் வந்துருச்சுன்னா, இப்ப நம்ம வந்து அதை கண்டுபிடிக்கணும்னு கூட வச்சுக்கோங்க. நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர் இந்த இடத்துல கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். அப்போ இந்த இடத்துல நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்னா, நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர் ஈக்குவல் டு, நம்ம நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர் கண்டுபிடிக்கிறத நம்மளோட இதுல இதேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஸோ இங்க நான் லெட் நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர் அப்படின்னு அந்த வர்ற வேல்யூ நான் தூக்கி இங்க ஒரு வேல்யூ வரும்ல, ஏதோ சம் வேல்யூ வரும். இங்க கண்டிஷன்ல எழுதியிருப்பேன்ல, n less than 0. ஸோ அப்ப எப்போ n less than 0ன்னு கண்டுபிடிக்கிறோம், அப்ப வந்து அதுதான் நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர். அதுக்கு மேல என்னோட வேலையே நான் நெகட்டிவ் நம்பரை கண்டுபிடிக்கிறது தான். பாசிட்டிவ் நம்பர்ஸ் ஆட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன், பட் ஆனா எனக்கு நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர் வந்தோடனே லூப் வெளில போயிடணும். அப்படிங்கிற டைம்ல எல்லாம் இப்போ ஏன்னா ஒரு கோட்ல வந்து பாசிட்டிவ் நம்பர் மட்டும் தான் நான் ஆடே பண்ணணும்னு இருக்கிற டைம்ல நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர் நான் பண்ணவே கூடாது. அது வந்துச்சுன்னா ஸ்கிப்பே பண்ணிடணும் கோட. இப்போ நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர் வந்துச்சுன்னா அதுக்கப்புறம் இருக்கிற எதுவுமே வேலிட் இல்ல, அந்த டைம்ல நான் பிரேக் யூஸ் பண்ணுவேன். ஸோ இந்த நெகட்டிவ் நம்பரை கண்டுபிடிச்சோன்னா எனக்கு இதுக்கு மேல இது எதுவுமே எக்ஸிக்யூட் ஆகக்கூடாது, நான் வெளியில வந்துடணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அப்போ பிரேக் யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். ஒரு நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர் கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டேன், அந்த நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர் வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் எனக்கு அதுக்கு மேல இருக்கிறது எல்லாமே இன்வாலிட், எனக்கு தேவையில்லை, அதை ஆடே பண்ண தேவையில்லை. அப்படி மாதிரி இருக்கிற ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷனுக்கு பிரேக் யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். பட் கண்டினியூ எப்போ யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம்னா, இப்போ வந்து எனக்கு நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர்ஸ் இருக்கு, அந்த நெகட்டிவ் நம்பரை மட்டும் விட்டுட்டு இந்த இடத்துல சம் எழுதிக்கலாம். இந்த கோடை இந்த இடத்துல சம் எழுதிட்டு ஏதோ சம் ஆயிட்டு இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. சம் நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு. ஸோ பிரேக் போட்ட என்ன ஆகும்னா நெகட்டிவ் நம்பர் வந்த உடனேயுமே வெளியில வந்துரும். பின்னாடி இத்தனை நம்பர் இருக்கு, இப்படி இருக்கு, -5, 10, 2, -1 இப்படி இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. ஸோ பிரேக் போட்ட என்ன ஆகும்னா இதோட வெளியில வந்துரும். இந்த இந்த 3 நம்பரை மட்டும் பண்ணிருக்கோம். பட் கண்டினியூ போட்டீங்கன்னா
அந்த -5 மட்டும் மிஸ் ஆயிட்டு நெக்ஸ்ட் நம்பர்ல இருந்து கண்டினியூ
ஆகும். அடுத்து இந்த -3 விட்டுட்டு மறுபடியும் கண்டினியூ ஆகும். சோ கண்டினியூ ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் வந்து ஜஸ்ட் ஸ்கிப் திஸ் லைன் ஒரு டைம், அவ்வளவுதான். பட் ஆனா பிரேக் வந்து இம்மீடியட்டா பிரேக் ஆகி வெளில வந்துரும், அவ்வளவுதான்.
அதோட அந்த இன்டரேஷனே முடிச்சிட்டு லூப்
விட்டு வெளில வந்துரும். இந்த இஃப் விட்டு வெளில வராது, லூப் விட்டு வெளில வந்துரும்.
ஓகே, थैंक यू.
ஓகே. Any other doubts? I have explained them the break and continue, and after that what I have taught only functions. If anybody is new to programming, I keep on repeating, please practice, then only it will come. Why I am not giving practice some set is you did not complete your HTML CSS task. So only after completing that I can give this. Okay, let it be. Any other doubts? Okay, then we can wind up the class. Thank you. Bye bye.